Hey there, sixth grade. I am Mrs. McDaniel, and welcome to Multimedia. Glad to have you here. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown of what multimedia would be like from now till the end of the school year. All right, in sixth grade multimedia, we are going to learn about basic computer skills. So you're going to learn some shortcuts. I'll have those posted for you to use, and it'll make your life a little bit quicker and easier as you're working through things if you will use some of those shortcuts. And you'll also learn about saving files, and so we'll go through that as well. That way you can keep yourself organized. We will be doing projects in graphic design. You will actually do two different graphic designs that will count as your graphic design project grade, and we'll be using PowerPoint to do those two graphic designs that will go toward your project grade. And then we will also be doing a single in coding and basic game design, and we will be using the Scratch website as well. Most used skills in multimedia, first of all, is creativity. And so you're going to need to be thinking about things and what you want to do, because I'm going to give you some project guidelines after you learn about a particular skill or after you learn about how to use a particular program or website. And you're going to have to come up with some ideas that will show me that you know how to do those skills, such as in those graphic designs that I talked about and in creating a coded game. You're also going to have to be able to do some problem solving, and more so since you're at home, because we're going to be able to communicate with each other, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than just being able to come up to my desk and ask me why your code isn't working or get ideas. So you're going to have to do a little problem solving on your own, in between times of us being able to work things out online together. So you do need to do some thinking and some problem solving so that you can try to figure things out as much as you can on your own. All right, so schedules for sixth grade. So I have three sixth grade classes that you guys fit into, depending on whether you're my second hour, my third hour, or my fifth hour class. And sorry, the fifth hour one is a little bit covered up, so I'll talk about that for a second. Anyway, you have two live classes per week with me, which is a 15-minute live session where I'm going to be talking to you guys and talking about things that we have that are coming up, and maybe going through any big problems that a bunch of students are encountering. And so two live sessions a week. Fifth hour, yours falls on Tuesday, Thursday. Second and third hour, yours falls on Mondays and Wednesdays. So you'll want to pay attention to those times. Mrs. Entrick did send out the schedule to you guys and your families, so go by that schedule. Friday, what you can't see here for fifth hour, it's the same thing as Friday on second and third hour. It is office hours. And so just something to think about, and I'll say it again here in a minute, is so you're going to have two lives a week with me, but each day you will be working on your assignments or your projects. Just because you only have two lives a week doesn't mean that's the only times that you're thinking about or working on multimedia during the week. You will be working outside of your lifetimes on your own, each day of the week, just like you would go to class each day of the week. And so you'll want to be checking in Schoology in the appropriate weeks folder to find out what you need to be doing each day. And each day, for your normal class time outside of live, I will have videos for you to follow along with, and then give you assignments or projects that you need to be working on. All right, things to think about in sixth grade multimedia as far as teaching and learning goes. Students, you should join the live sessions for your multimedia class, so that you can see the discussion about what we're learning about or what we're working on. So it'll help you out a lot if you attend those live sessions. The live sessions are recorded and posted in Schoology, just in case you cannot log in during that live session. Maybe something's going on with your family, that you can't attend that particular live session. You will be able to go back in Schoology later and watch that once the recording gets uploaded. All right, during our live sessions, we have very limited time together. And so it's 15 minutes. All student participation needs to be positive and on task to benefit the whole class. It's not like we're in a regular classroom where we have 45, 50 minutes together. We have 15 minutes of live time, and then you're working on your own until you get an opportunity during office hours to ask me questions. So you really need to sit, watch, listen, and be positive on task during these live times so that everybody can benefit from being able to hear and listen to what's going on. All right. You should also, like I said earlier, check Schoology each day for that day's work. You'll have classwork to do outside of your live class online times, and I just mentioned that. So you're going to want to make sure that you are checking to see what needs to be done each day. It will be in Schoology. All right, so you will need to work on your current assignment or project each day, depending on what we're on at that point in time. And so again, check Schoology. You'll need to also daily, I will have a new discussion board every day in Schoology. In the folder for that current week, I will give you the directions for what you need to do on the discussion board each day, but most likely you're going to be working on a project every day. And so at the end of your time working on that project, at the end of your 20 minutes of work time for me, then you will take a screenshot of what you did on your project that day, most likely, and upload that picture to the discussion board. And then I'll have a variety of things that you can answer or type in there related to the picture or what you've done that day for your project. So check those daily discussion boards because you will need to be uploading things to them daily. So, and that's how you're going to get your weekly classwork grade is by participating in those discussion boards each and every day. All right. Student tips for video conference calls. So Um, when it's time for your video conference, you need to click that link in Schoology so that you can get logged into the call. Make sure you're on time so you don't miss out on anything, because once it's time for that call to start, I'm going to start sharing information that the class needs. So if you come into that conference call late, then you're going to miss out on some information. Make sure that you are staying focused during those live times on those live video calls. Um, I am, if I'm sharing something on my screen, I'm not going to see everybody's face, but if I'm just talking to you about something, I will see everybody's face on the screen. And so just like in a classroom, if you could nod, make sure that I can kind of tell if you're with me and you understand, that's super helpful. Or you can give a thumbs up, things like that. And that helps me know that people are understanding what I'm talking about. Also, I'm going to ask that everybody's mics are muted during our live session. After our live session is over, or when I'm done talking about a certain topic, I will unmute the mics, but we have to have the mics muted during the majority of the live session while I'm teaching. And I'll be recording that. And as soon as I turn off the recording, I'll let you guys know. And then that's when, if you have individual questions, we can turn on mics and you guys can ask questions. Okay. Also, we will be using Zoom for our class live sessions. And there is an option in there, a raising hand option. You can click on that button and raise your hand. I'll know that at the end of that call or at the end of the live session, once I stop the recording, I'll know that I need to turn on your mic or that you need to ask a question that the group can listen to. All right, and again, wait for me to call on you to be able to unmute your mic, because if as soon as I'm done recording, a whole bunch of you unmute your mics and start talking at once, we're not going to be able to understand each other. So we need to be able to take turns to do that. So I will call on the people that I see have their hands raised, that they've marked the button to raise their hands. All right. If you need to during these live sessions, typically in my class, I don't have students take notes, but if you are a person that it helps you out to jot things down, you can jot things down or have paper handy while we're in a live session, if that helps you out to take notes or to write things down that you need to remember. But remember, those live sessions will be recorded, so you can always go back and watch them again if you need to on your own time. All right, and on the video option, I do, during those live sessions, would like to have your video on just so I can see your faces because I don't know you guys yet, so it'd be nice to put a face with your name. And also when logging into the live sessions, you need to use your first name only because it's being recorded. We don't want last names on there. It's a privacy thing. But make sure during those live sessions, looking into the camera as much as possible so that we can see you so that I can start to get to know who's in my class, and that I can also, if I see your face, I can tell whether or not you're kind of understanding what's going on. Okay, so looking forward to seeing you next week. We'll have our first live session next week, so can't wait to start. Talk to you later. Bye.